Hello and welcome to the 26th episode of Williams Whiteboard. I'd like to take a quick moment just to say thank you for all of you that have come by, watched the videos, left some comments, likes, and shared. The shares really mean a lot. So thank you very much. So on this 26th episode, I'm going to go back to some self-development. I had such a warm response and feedback from last week's episode where we did a little self-development work. I'm going to go back to the well again on this week's episode. So on this week's episode, I'm going to talk about the concept of chapter 26. Yes, the idea of chapter 26. So this week I had a coaching client that is in the middle of their challenge week. So this is their week in terms of identifying the thing they want to tackle going forward for the remainder of the coaching engagement. And this client brought up the idea and brought up the concept of, I want to do what you do. Okay, from a standpoint of, in the acquisition community, this individual, their desire was to have the stature, the experience, the knowledge, and the ability to relay it as they said, I did. So first, I was very appreciative of the accolades. It's like, that what I do is aspirational. However, I wanted to quickly get to a point where we can talk about that's not the goal. In my opinion, when you think about my career, so my acquisition career, and this is WCR, William Randolph's acquisition career started in 1995. 1995. We are now in 2020. So that is a 25-year career in the space. I am in this context, chapter 26 of my novel. Okay? 25 years in the book, and I'm reading my way and learning my way through chapter 26. My client, chapter 7. Okay? 7 years in the career field. And the desire is to look like, execute, and function as if they're in chapter 26. I'd like to share 3 things why I think this is problematic. Number 1, don't compare chapter 7 to chapter 26. Don't compare chapter 7 to chapter 26. There's been a lot of life that has been lived from 1995 to 2020 in terms of my acquisition career. A lot of highs, some lows, a lot of experiences, some wins, some not so much, okay? But the process that makes one show up as if they have read through chapter 26 should not be the benchmark for the person that's at chapter 27, at chapter 7. So, number 1, don't compare. Number 2, read and live the chapter you're in. Okay? Whatever chapter you're in, wring all of the life value, contributions, activities, success out of the chapter you're in. It's more important to live in your chapter today than it is to dream about somebody else's chapter in the future. We all have opportunities to start and do and engage in new activities, new skills, new jobs, new experiences, sometimes even new careers. And oftentimes we use the aspiration of those that have gone before us as our North Star. That we want to be a superhero. We want to be the superstar. We want to be the luminary in the space. But maybe we're not at the space where we're at chapter 1 versus somebody else's chapter 50. Live and read the chapter you're in. Get the value out of the chapter you're in, out of the experiences you're in, and work your way to the next chapter. Point number 3, don't skip to the end. Don't skip to the end. Don't go and read what's the final chapter, because you never know the journey you're going to take as you go through the novel of your life, of your career, of your aspirations. Don't skip to the end. You're going to miss something. There's a lesson that's going to be learned in the peaks, most of the time in the valleys, but don't skip to the end. This is the idea and the concept that we have to live in the space we're in and grow every day. But don't skip to the end, because you're going to miss something that you're going to need when you think you've arrived. Okay? So this is the idea and the concept of chapter 26, which is my chapter. And for those of you that are embarking on new ideas, new concepts, new careers, new ways of doing business, it is great to identify those that have gone ahead of us and those that have reached some levels of successes and success. But don't compare where you are to where your aspirational person, company, business, organization is. Be in the chapter you're in today. Don't compare. Do the work. Read and live in the chapter you're in. And then don't skip to the end. It's so important to be in the space where you're in and do the learning. Get the ups and downs, the bumps and bruises, the highs and lows. Those are the things that will allow you to, when you do get to the end and the prize, it'll be so much more meaningful. This is William's Whiteboard, and this is the idea of chapter 26. In your own life, know where your chapter is. Identify your chapter, have aspirational goals, but stick to reading the chapter and living in the chapter that you're in. Please give me some thoughts, ideas, and comments on the concept of don't compare your chapter to chapter someone ahead of you in the career path or in your life path. As I always say, whenever you're chewing on something and you don't know what to do, grab a whiteboard and a set of markers and get after it. Thank you so very much for your time, and have an amazing day. Be well. Bye.